And look at that infinity symbol, like the 2 bracelets orbiting. This would be if you're facing, if you're the dancer here, this would be the right hand. So orbiting, choosing to orbit assertively, choosing this, owning this. Tulips. Tulips have specific meaning for you guys as well. Hermit energy, the blooming of the rose from the palm. This is mirroring. Okay, so this Christ-like consciousness, and the rose is like Mary Magdalene. The order of the rose. The DF, the side of the connection that has a little bit of blood in the water and the divine masculine is jumping in. She's the hermit. And through the light, the peace within her, even in that state, he is receiving, and the tailor, oh my gosh, I just realized there's a reason this is being shown to the camera. She's leading the way. She is that light in that lantern. I'll do the top and the bottom. Air to the tailor. Threads of fate. Oh, wow, what a powerful reading, you guys. Oh my goodness, there's so much here. Okay. So I'm just going to let the cards speak here, and I'm going to turn them a little bit so you guys can see them a little bit better, a little easier. If I'm facing me, we need to be facing you. I want to make sure you guys can see them really easy too. Kind of getting used to this new setup. Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, so this is where I currently am. We tied in this, and it goes from like you're the air to faith. These energies thought that they were stronger, more powerful than the divine. What they didn't know was that you were actually the trap. 2 of you were the trap. The divine sent you in as a master soul. This was your like, you guys gained your ascension beyond master because of how powerfully and efficiently you were able to work with this energy, with this challenge, with this lesson, whatever it was that you set out to learn when you incarnated here, because there's something that this challenge was before you because you had an opportunity to grow as a soul. But regardless, every single step of the way, they had no idea how thoroughly they were being played. They had no idea. And that's one thing when you're dealing with evil or cruel, selfish, narcissistic, pathologically narcissistic, malignant, like self-harming, the whole, the cancer, if you will, malignant. This is the immune system. You guys, if you were a part of the immune system, you would be the baddest of the arsenal that the immune system has, which is, from what my mind is hearing repeatedly, because it's been a while since I've had this in class, they might teach it different now. Maybe they know about a new cell, but it's the killer T cell. It's the killer T cell. You guys are, you're the big guns. And that's because you're able, when you incarnate, you forget so much about who you are when you incarnate, because you have your own lessons to learn. But when this came into play, it was like you got spiritually roofied on top of it. You started to know who you were, and then they came into play, and they spiritually roofied you. So your DM is like sitting there like she is completely helpless in this state. She has no conscious awareness of this. I'm not okay with that. And maybe I don't know what's going on consciously myself either, but there are powers to be at play. Our souls are old and they're wise and they're connected. And you know what? I'm going to take this lifeline. You mean if I jump in there, you're going to give me everything I need to be able to save her? And the answer is yes. And he didn't hesitate. He jumped. And he's in there now punching sharks in the nose. He just suddenly, like in the Matrix, knows how to do that. Just downloaded all of it. There you go. He's in there punching sharks in the nose. He is doing that because there was somewhat of a confrontation that involves everyone that this trap was set for. They believed that they were getting away with it. The emphasis of a play here, right? You just hear them going, me, 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 me. Like whatever it may be, whatever their story they were trying to emphasize. But when she suddenly was in her full power, the concept was that they had her so tied down in illusion and she was so thoroughly spiritually roofied that she wouldn't be able to be in her power. You guys are the killer T cell. The power that she wielded was in that they thought that she was powerless. That they thought that she was completely ignorant to what they were doing and unable to stand up for herself in any way. So they had complete control of her energy, which meant they could control and manipulate him. They believed this. The trap was always set for them. There is a YouTube video, short, where you have a dog who is watching a cat, who is watching a mouse, who is staring at the cheese on the mouse trap. The moment that mouse reaches for that cheese, the cat's going to reach for the mouse. The moment that happens, the dog's going to reach for the cat. They don't know the dog's there. They think they're the cat and that the divine, there's a bit of it in all of it, but the scenario is they don't see the divine hand in it. They don't believe the divine exists. And boy, have they learned. Because they took that opportunity, the point of no return, where they tried to fully get her to submit to giving them all of her power, all of her wisdom, her sovereignty. And they were kind about it. They were cruel and they were mean and they were nasty. They have no idea how to move from love. And as the divine feminine, being very versed in the language of light, she knows that everything that they're doing is truly because their souls are wanting to come back into the light. Everything they're doing is because they don't understand the light, and because they're so removed from it, they hate it. So she's there. Okay? Just like with the short that I released earlier. She is not doing what she's doing to hurt them. She is in Christ-like consciousness. She is, I am here. You're in agony. It's why you're being so cruel. And I'm going to put an end to this. I'm not going to do it by being nasty or mean or cruel to you. That is not my place. That is beyond me. I'm not going to pass on the hurt. I'm not going to feed it. So they tried their damnedest to scare the crap out of her. She's fully tapped in. She knows that the divine exists. They don't know that there's the unseen force that can squash them like a bug. I'm getting that image of like, okay, well, if there's a laser and there's an ant, and the divine is a little boy with like the magnifying glass creating that laser, the divine can smite him at any moment. It's nothing. Nothing. But they don't know that exists. She does. She does. She knows that push come to shove, the divine will give them the light they need, even if that means it hurts. And it doesn't just hurt them. The fact that it hurts them because even they have been created by the divine. They are also the children of the divine. It hurts the divine to have to hurt them, even if it is the only way to heal them. So there's compassion for even that within her. She knows this is not, that it's needed, it's necessary, but it's not something that's relished or enjoyed by the divine. Because the divine is a love beyond what we can even comprehend. And she even knows that, as close and connected or as tapped in as she seems to be. She's still humble with exactly, she's aware of how much she doesn't know. And it humbles her. She's in awe of the divine, in the love within the divine, even in this scenario. So her faith never wavers. They put on their little theatrics to scare the crap out of her, but she is in Christ-like consciousness. She's connected to all of who she is, and because of that, her DM is too. And he is there. He is watching. He is waiting. He is the means, the mode through which the divine will act through. Because the divine is present within all of them. It's like the Holy Spirit, right? But people think, or at least they are thinking, if they even believe in the Holy Spirit, that the Holy Spirit cannot actually make anything move. It's like smoke to them. Like that'll actually reach out and like slap you upside the head. Like, no, it's smoke. It's not corporeal. How could it possibly do anything? So it gets to a certain point, the confrontation, the theatrics, all designed to intimidate her and make her feel powerless. And all of them are adding and funneling their focus and their energy into this one pointed individual who is being placed as though they are her counterpart. And she knows it is not true. She knows that there's a piece of her counterpart possibly present. Like they're pretending, they're wearing the energy. It's a false light, right? It's false. She knows this. But even in this individual, there's a little boy, a little girl in there that doesn't deserve any of this, that is still present within them. So she has compassion for that. It is multi-layered, the love that is being present, that's being displayed, that's being shown, and it's completely lost on the individuals that are aligned on this cruel agenda. Yet it's the actual medicine they need, because it'll make sense at some point. They will understand the gravity of it at some point, because the divine will make sure they get the antidote that they need, the medicine they need. So she, even in this, acts in compassion towards that energy within them, that inner child within them. However, like minuscule and small and hidden away and smothered by all of the lack of awareness and darkness and suffering and pain, she is still reaching for that. And that is something her counterpart knows. That it is a priority as well, because it is her nature. It is her mission. It is her compassion. And being one, he has nothing but respect for her for that. He would never want her to be anything other than who she is. Even if he doesn't understand it. He may tell her, his piece, but he's like, you're going to do what you're going to do anyway. And I respect you for that. And vice versa. It's like, here, you don't see a peace sign in the hand, but here, it can look like maybe it's a peace sign. There is peace between the two. There is peace. I just had a flash of that being a goat, but I originally was thinking of that as a dog, which that is interesting. And the other, a cat. It's probably part of the... There may be some animal syncs here for you guys. So we have like the goat and the wolf. The boy who cried wolf. Ooh, that may be a theme for you guys. Interesting. So that was like a little segue, spirit. And dogs and cats and mice. or mouse. Mice, mouse, rats. Illusions. All of it illusions. Okay. So they play their trump card to try to get her to like come to heel and be under their control completely and give over all of her sovereignty. And her presence is fully felt. The light that she is fully shining. And then comes in the dark, her counterpart. The dark is not evil. There's a reason the Master Soul symbol is that of a yin yang. The dark is not evil. But it inspires you to know discernment. And she says, I am not scared of you. And the truth of it rings through the entire space. And you know that that energy at that moment is going to try to do, they're going to do whatever they possibly can to correct that statement she made. And that's when her DM steps in. She's given permission in that statement for intervention. She is stating with all of her the depth of her faith. The truth is a certainty that love, the divine, is present and will always, always be more powerful than anything that the divine creates. Always. There is somewhat of there's like a theoretical egg and chicken kind of a philosophy that just you could debate it till the end of time. But if the divine could create something more powerful than them, would they still be, like that's the kind of a thing? And that is something that is there for these individuals to even be able to fall into the trap. Because if they believe that the divine doesn't exist, which obviously they've been moving like that, they think that there's no consequence. You, as a master soul, are crowned. You are always this. You have completed your mission. You have learned, you have both mastered this because now you're there and you were able together to protect the lights that were within these individuals, their inner children, and provide the medicine they need. Spirit's bringing to mind, like that sometimes you'll just be thumbing through your feed, and either way, there was a video that kind of landed home for me because my dad was in the military. And you would have these soldiers that would come home to their dogs, and they'd been gone for, however long their activations were. Maybe it was 9 months. Maybe they ended up going for a double tour. They just opted for it because that's who they are. They knew they could save lives. So they did. They stayed. They opted to stay so that more people could come home. And their dogs, some of them didn't recognize them. Some of them recognized them right away. And just watching how their dogs reacted to them, it's an emotional thing because a dog is so innocent. A cat is so innocent. There's no filter. There's no projection. There's nothing like that. But there was one that really hit home for me. And it was like, you could tell that the dog was just a puppy when he went to war and he came home, and he's like putting himself like on the ground, belly down, like making himself small because the dog is scared of him. And it's not like he's scared he's going to hurt him. He's scared. Are you really you? Do I let myself own these feelings? I recognize you. I know who you are, but man, I've missed you so much and it hurts so much you were gone, and like, can I feel this? Can I embrace this? Are you real? Are you going to stay? That's a similar feeling to the inner children inside of these people, inside of these beings. or these entities, these beings have been manipulating and using to reach you. And that's why you were called in. That's why the killer T cell master soul that you are was called in, because the divine has been hearing those inner children's cries, hearing their pain, and it is unacceptable. There may have been a lot of injustices done to the consciousnesses of these people that made it so that they were vulnerable. And that is now what we're moving into. Everything that brought the two of you to where you are, you've completed your mission. You have a lot of life left. You get to move into your next mission, your bonus mission. You get you get to have your reward, your abundance that they were taking from you. Because in truth, everything they did, you doing what you did in that moment, that was you coming in for harvest. They thought they were harvesting you. The truth is, the divine was going, wow, they really went above and beyond, and they did everything they could possibly think of to keep taking and taking and taking and taking. And you get everything they took from you, and because you ascended, you learned, you mastered this lesson, you get more. It doesn't mean that it's like money. It could be more in a closer relationship, a better understanding with Source Divine, unlocking new lessons to better understand what that means to be rising above the 33rd mastery level and into the 34th